Listen, I want to welcome everybody out there to the Cat's Corner with Ernest, the Cat Miller, and Big Shug, Big Ray. What's going on, Ray?
Cat, I have been sick all week with the flu. Some people call it COVID-19. I call it the flu. But I'm feeling
So,
good today.
so a whole week you feeling good now?
Feeling good. Had a lot of ivermectin. I know that's a terrible word to them left wing idiots, but it's a miracle drug. It
See,
does
see,
work.
see, you're not gonna start and turn this podcast into like
I'm sorry.
a debate.
A political rant, if you will.
Yeah, we're not gonna start there here. We like to come on and feel free to have fun. We talk about pro wrestling.
We
We
talk
talk
about
about pro
pro
wrestling.
wrestling. We talk about
And,
sports, entertainment. We do talk politics sometimes, but we talk
but
about a little bit of
you
everything.
seem to get in trouble whenever we talk about politics because you're such a diehard to the left kind of guy, you know.
No, die hard to the right, actually. I'm more of a centrist. I'm more in the center, but I lean a little right,
And you
conservative.
lean, yeah, that's just up top. Then you lean a little left on the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Depends. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like prostitution, I'm very liberal. I think that should be legal for sure. But on
But
my
why?
taxes, I'm conservative
But you know what? Why should that be legal?
because it's the oldest profession in the world, man. Let them ladies make money with what they got. Them money makers. Let them make their money. Let's let them make their money. But there's been a lot going on in the world of pro wrestling since we last talked, Cat. And we've had the discussion. We've beat this horse to death about who killed WCW and if it's still alive or is it on life support or, as you say, in the basement somewhere with a sock stuck in its mouth, just waiting for somebody to free it and let it loose.
Well, I look at it like this, Ray. WCW is not dead. WCW is just there, and I think WCW can have another run, with new guys, new faces, but I think people will watch WCW. But from listening to all this who killed WCW on what's that Vice
Mm-hmm.
internet, I heard everybody had they say so
A lot of
into
opinions, a
how
lot of rumors,
WCW died, right? Listen
lot.
before
Yeah,
you run your mouth. Just listen.
I'm
Listen.
agreeing with you. I'm just
Shut,
going with
shut,
you,
shut, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and listen.
brother.
All these guys had so many different opinions on who killed WCW. We listened to them all. And I think it's kind of quiet now. But guess what? I still haven't heard who killed WCW. So if you don't have a killer, back in the day, I used to watch Perry Mason. Oh, oh, lawyer. This guy was sitting and going to court, and by the end of 20 minutes, always make the guilty guy stand up and tell on himself. It was always a crime. I was that kind of kid where if I walked outside and it was yellow tape and it was a crime, I was trying to look at it and figure it out. What's going on
You
over there.
knows him. Yeah, you
If
knows
if
him.
yeah, but if I don't see anything there, I don't see any body tape, any cops there, just a yellow. It's not a crime scene. So that means no crime ever was committed. Now we're
Nobody,
talking.
no crime. You heard the man. He said the Jamaican man. He said nobody, no crime. Nobody, no crime. But we're here on a Friday night,
Big
right
Ray.
before SmackDown. People are interested in what you got to say because you are the 3-time, 4-time, however many time karate champion
Now,
of the
now I'm
world.
not looking at it like that. What
And
I'm looking at is what I'm
you're a
looking at is
legend. You're a
what I'm
legend in
looking
the
at.
game.
I am. What I'm looking at WCW. We're talking about WCW. We're not talking about me. We're talking about
Well,
World
you were an
Championship
integral
Wrestling.
part. You were there when it went down, baby. You were
I,
on the
I,
Titanic when it went to the bottom of the
oh,
ocean.
but it never went to the bottom. It never went to the bottom. I mean, how was the bottom? I got paid a lot of money to work there. I did. I got noticed. I got famous. WCW created me. They created the cat that ended up in WWE.
I disagree. They
It
didn't
got
create
it.
you. You were
Yeah,
already created.
now WCW gave me a platform.
Yeah, but you were Ernest
It
the
gave
Cat
me,
when you got there.
but it gave me people around me that helped me fulfill my obligation as a wrestler. It just gave me the platform to be the Ernest the Cat Miller that I am today. Now, what I was saying though, Ray, WCW is not dead. And you know that just because I said that, there's a couple of people out there, who think like, what the hell is he talking about? WCW is dead. Now, I'm not saying we all know WCW is not on TV anymore. We know it's not on TV anymore,
Right.
but in the hearts, in the mind of a lot of fans, WCW is still the best. It's still good. It's
Still real
still
to me,
there.
damn it.
Yeah, it's still there.
I know.
So how can anybody say they killed something that's not dead? Did you go to the funeral?
I wasn't invited.
Did you see a funeral?
I didn't.
And then you got a bunch of guys coming out at me because I said WCW is not dead. From what I understand, Vince McMahon took ownership of it and just decided to put it up. And
That's right.
he might have put it
I own
upstairs.
WCW.
He might have put it up. But hey, bro, you keep breaking out like that, I'm gonna put you on mute. We trying to have a show and trying to get this forward, and you keep just butting in with all these stupid jokes.
That's what he said.
He did not say that. So now
You telling me he didn't do that night in Panama City? I watched the show 10 times. I know what he did.
I was at the show in the back, so I know what went down. So I don't need you to tell me as a mark what you saw and what you believe. I'm telling you what actually happened. I was there. And what we seen was WCW taken over by Vince McMahon. He took it over. He came in, walked on the stage on TBS, the network, and said, hey, I'm the new owner. But he never said, hey, WCW is dead. No. WCW was killed.
No,
WCW
he slowly killed it over the next 2 years. Yeah, he did a hell of a job.
I know. You know what? That's your opinion. Probably because you didn't watch it, because you're a fan. You're a fan. That's your opinion. WCW. But you know what? You ain't the only one feel like that. I got a call from a guy. I know this guy. You guys is not going to recognize him because, see, he's the guy you probably looking at right here in the mask. And we going to call him Mr. Nobody. But he called himself Mr. Black, but we're going to call him Mr. Nobody because Mr. Nobody is closer to who he really is.
He's from parts unknown.
No, I know where he's from. He's actually a friend. I know where he is, but because of his job, he spent many years in WCW doing a lot of things. He was a wrestler, he was a manager. He was a very important part of WCW history.
We don't want to let
making
the cat
WCW.
out of the bag.
No, let me just finish talking, Ray. Let me finish talking about my friend. But today he really wanted to come on the Cat's Corner and give people his 2 cents.
For the record, he's my friend too.
Yeah, like he really, really mattered. I just want to give this guy a platform. I'm not afraid to come on and say what he want to say. Mr. Black or Mr. Nobody, go ahead and introduce yourself. And we're going to be going at it. I can tell you this right now. We see the WCW situation totally different. Mr. Nobody, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. And I told you when I came on here, it's Mr. Black.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Black.
Hold up, wait a minute, Mr. Black. Mr. Black, hold up, Mr. Black, 1 second, please, sir, before you get started. With all due respect, you don't come on my damn show and tell me what to call you. You're Mr. Nobody. And if you keep damn running your mouth, I know who's under that mask. I'm going to tell the world who you are. I got you now. Now go ahead and speak your mind.
Don't do that. We had a deal. Okay. All right. Well, as the cat previously said, because of my job, I don't want people to know who I am. So I won't get any trouble here because I'm a very important person out here. I'm a real important person. I was an important person in WCW, but I'm still an important person. You know, Cat, I got something I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, calm down. Take a deep breath.
No, because I've been holding this for a while. I listen.
Be yourself. Relax.
I
Be
know.
yourself.
I've been listening to this podcast last week, and I heard you say, even on this podcast, even on this episode, that WCW is not dead. Cap, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but WCW is dead. It's dead. It's dead. It ain't coming back. Look at it like this. You said, hey, I don't know what a body is. You a Perry Mason fan. You haven't seen any body, so it's not dead.
Who is Perry Mason? You probably don't even know who Perry Mason is. I'm
know.
giving my age away, but who was Perry Mason?
That guy on the black and white TV show from the 1950s or 60s or something like that. Okay, I know what you're talking about, Cat. Okay. You'd be surprised what I know. But I'm here to tell you, people say Jimmy Hoffa ain't dead. Or Jimmy Hoffa, where's the body? Was Jimmy Hoffa still alive? I'm pretty sure Jimmy Hoffa is dead. Just like WCW is dead, Cat.
Okay, well, see, you just yelling out stuff. Give me some facts. Tell me why you believe. You just told me. You just gave me your opinion. Just like I can give you my opinion of a grown man with a mask on with a B on top of his head. What does that stand for? B stand for butt head?
Cat, I didn't come on here to be insulted.
Well, bro, stop trying to tell me to believe what you believe, your opinion. Give me some facts. Show me and tell me why WCW is dead. Cat, your opinion.
Because I use logic and common sense.
What do you think I use?
Just like I look outside and I see the grass is green, the sky is blue. That's all I'm doing, Cat. Cat, it's dead. It's dead. I'm sorry. Listen, I wish it wasn't dead. I could have made a lot more money than I did. I was in my prime when it all went down. I wish it was still alive, but it's dead. It's pretty much dead.
But see, you saying that like I'm telling you it's not dead. Like I'm wishing that we was all back in the same place we was at when WCW was going head on head with WWF.
Yeah,
head to head. Now, that's not what I'm saying, Tony. I'm just saying WCW.
Who are you talking about?
Okay, my fault, bro. My fault, Mr. Butthead. What's your name, Mr. Nobody?
Mr. Black, get it right. What kind of interview are you? You get your name all wrong? Hey, do you call Stevie Ray Booker T?
Matter of fact, the way you look in that mask, you might be Stevie Ray.
Do you call?
But I know who you are. I know who you are.
Hey, wait a minute. You got Sonny Ono on here. I never heard you call Sonny Ono Leaping Lanny Poffo. So why you gonna call me Mr. Nobody or whatever?
He does call Sonny a Mexican though, and that's unfair too.
Okay, all right, Mr. Man, calm your ass down. Calm down.
Are you?
Maybe you got that mask. Maybe you got that mask too tight around your neck. Just calm down. Now let's go back. Let's get back on topic.
Let's get back on topic. Go ahead.
Okay.
You're gonna stop insulting, though.
Okay. All right. Whatever, Mr. Nobody.
Listen. We're gonna edit that out.
Listen. Oh no, we're not. What the hell you doing the Christmas tree up back in the back too, Ray? That's stupid. That's a Christmas tree back there.
That is not a Christmas tree. If you must know,
you shouldn't mean that's a Christmas tree.
Orange
hey,
trees.
Hey, Cat, what are you doing? You casing his house or something? Stop looking at that man.
Hey, bro, you into my decor all of a sudden?
Okay, so
you worried about what I've got in my feng shui?
Bro, listen. On this podcast, we gonna speak one at a time. We can't talk over each other.
Yes, we can.
And right now, I'm trying to get to Mr. Nobody.
Okay,
and I'm
Mr.
trying
Black.
to show Mr. Nobody. You call him Mr. Black. I'm trying to show Mr. Nobody We are saying, I understand what you're saying. It's no longer on TV. WCW is no longer out there in the public where people can see it and go and watch it. But in the hearts of very, very, let's just say, many people, just in the heart and the mind, they remember what WCW gave them and did for them and the great time and the great shows that were put on. So as long as it's in the hearts of fans, WCW would never be considered dead. And if you tell me, because I don't remember you going and doing anything else but WCW, then you went on to do whatever you're doing now, Trash Man or whatever you're doing, I don't know. But you mean to tell me that with all the hard work that Mr. Nobody put in.
Oh, insulting.
Hold up, wait a minute.
There you go.
Mr. Nobody put in during his days in WCW, busting your ass out there in the ring and out the ring, creating fans. And you gonna tell me right now that in the hearts of those fans, WCW is gone forever. It's dead. Did it go to wrestling heaven? What? Where did it go?
I would say wrestling hell.
Well, I'm gonna say wrestling purgatory because Cat, you won't let it die. It's not in heaven. It's not in hell. It's just there. It's dead, man. It's dead. And I can't say one person killed it. I said a lot of different things killed it, and I've heard some of the things before, and I was there, And I said the main ones that killed it was those TV execs. They didn't want it. They didn't like wrestling. They didn't like wrestling on TV. I heard the jokes they made about pro wrestling and what it was. So now you got the people at the top. They don't like the product. And like I said, the product actually started doing good at one point, and Eric Bischoff and the 83 weeks and everything. But there was no follow-up to it.
But now, Mr. Nobody, bringing up Eric name. Now, let me tell you this hypothetical situation. Tell me what you think about it.
Go ahead.
A new brand of wrestling appear on TV.
Okay.
And that new brand is an old brand. It's WCW. Which Vince McMahon can release it from the hellhole that he right now got it tied up with his hand behind his back and a sock in his mouth. WCW is still kicking. Let me out of here. Let me out of here. Somebody go down there like me and unlock the key and set it free. If in the flow, they find a TV network. And then they find somebody to really run with their partner. Somebody like Eric Bischoff. Come on, man. You think WCW was on TV? You don't think that and Eric Bischoff were running it again? You don't think that people gonna watch that?
Well, okay, Kat, I heard you refer to WCW being tied up with the basin with a ball gag and
about what you look like with that mask on.
Well, this is
you understand? Listen, bro. If you were gonna come on here, you told me you did not want people to know who you are.
Right.
You did not want people to know your name because of your job. But if you were gonna come on my podcast and you were gonna wear a mask, you could have bought a better mask than that, man. That cheap ass man looked like you took one of your old granddaddy socks and cut some holes in the eyes and nose and the mouth.
See,
I should put your ass right off here. But you know what? I know who you are under that mask, and I want you to just expose yourself. Just expose yourself by saying some of the stupid stuff that you said about WCW, where you busted your ass in there to make it successful.
Listen. I love WCW. Okay, WCW put me on the map. I'm here because of WCW. But anyway, like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted here, let's get back to this whole tied up in the basement thing here. What's really going on here, Cat?
Bro, why you keep worrying about the idea of me saying tied up in the basement?
You keep saying that. I think you have some kind of sick fantasy or something going on or whatever, and you trying to pin it on WCW and you don't want it to die or something. Really, I'm trying to help you. Like you came on, I said, you said we friends, right? I'm starting to worry about you a little bit.
Oh man,
you get a little freaky.
I'm gonna leave. Let's go back to WCW. Cat, I don't know what more I can tell you. I mean, I told you what I thought. I gave you my opinion. What happened? You know, the people at the top just didn't like wrestling. They didn't. And people got to understand there was more than just wrestling tied to Turner Broadcasting Systems, Warner Brothers, everything was going on. You got a conglomerate of companies here. You know, they didn't value wrestling. We value wrestling as wrestling fans.
How can you speak for them? Did you talk to any of those guys? No. Tell me one executive you talked to.
Okay, I'm giving you my opinion. Opinion.
You might listen before you pass out. You might want to take that, loosen up that neck thing right there, cause it look like you got eight heads up under that, three or four necks. You might want to loosen that up around your neck, man.
There you go. See, I don't like this disrespect I'm getting. See, I watched your podcast. You have Mark Henry on. You have Bill Goldberg on. You had all kind of superstars on, and I never heard you insult him once. Well, you might have insulted. Oh no.
Maybe. Yeah, because they did not come on my podcast and not want to show their face and not be. I tell you what, you keep running your damn mouth. I'm gonna tell the people who you are.
Don't tell him it's Black Dula the Butcher.
See, y'all don't say that about Abdullah. He ain't feeling well right now. We talking about.
I said Black Dula. You the cousin. You Black Dula the Butcher.
Doing, man. You know what you're doing. Stop picking on Abdullah. That man's a legend.
Ray, Ray don't care. Ray is totally disrespectful. Ray is a fan. I am not disrespectful. Yeah, how can you even bring up Abdullah's name when you know he's sick right now? How can you even do that?
I did not know Larry was sick.
You should. Hey, that's why you should do your research before you get on the podcast.
What's wrong with Larry? What's wrong with Larry?
Well, let's not worry about Larry. He's not on that podcast. We got Mr. Nobody. We can't
afford him.
We got a dude with a mask. We got a dude with a mask on the show right now. That's who you need to be focused on.
S&M. We got an S&M character. He's into that sadomasochism.
Hey, Ray, if he stand up, he probably got on a thong with some bunny with a bunny tail in the back.
Why do you care about what I'm wearing up under here?
Hey, man.
But anyway, let's get back. Let's talk some wrestling. Let's get back to some wrestling now.
Okay, all right.
I don't have a whole lot to say about WCW as far as it be. I mean, I told you my opinion and what I thought. That's about as far as we can go.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Nobody. What do you miss about being in WCW when you was there? Tell me, what do you miss?
You believe it or not, and I didn't think I would miss something like this, but I miss a lot of travel on the road, the talks in the cars with the boys and different things like that. Because, you know, I was young when I came in, so I got to hang out with a lot of my heroes and everything, you know. I mean, I grew up in another part of the country here, so I watched these guys before wrestling went, you know, worldwide and everything. So I watched regional wrestling.
Who was your favorite? Who was one of your favorites?
Oh, let's see. Growing up, Junkyard Dog, Jake the Snake Roberts, Devon Eriks. You know, by the Freebirds, yeah.
Now, who was you happier to work with?
Who's a happy
when you got into WCW? I know you were happy to work with all the guys, but I know you teamed with a lot of top name guys. Yeah. But who was the best one? Who was your favorite tag partner?
Favorite one?
Who?
Well, I substituted with Stevie Ray one night. When Booker T was off and they was going through a transition here and it's part of this show, so I got
bro. Yeah, I thought you didn't want nobody to know and you giving it away like that.
What are you asking me?
I'm asking you who was your favorite wrestler that you worked with in the ring. I didn't say tag with.
Okay, all right.
You keep doing that, they can go back and look at that and figure out who you are. And then you'll lose.
There was a few different members of the Harlem Heat, so that you'll be all right.
Yeah. How you know you'll be all right? He tell you'll be all right. You'll be safe. So go ahead, spill the beans.
I'm not worried about the fans. I'm worried about my supervisor seeing this. So I don't care what the fans do. Go ahead for the fan. I don't want my supervisor to see this. It might get back and yeah, that's a whole nother subject.
Okay,
there.
so go ahead and tell her who was your favorite. Who did you work with in the ring that you remember from WCW?
That you enjoyed the most.
All right, this might be controversial, but this got nothing to do with what happened outside the ring. It'd be Chris Benoit.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah, love working with him.
But why?
Why? Go ahead.
Why?
Well, I mean, like I said, he was a good dude. Worked real snug. I mean, like I said, looked good. Didn't hurt you. Good match. I like that.
So was that like your favorite match, or was that just one of your better matches? Because if people knew who you was, they'd look back and know that not every match you had was a good match.
No, never was. But like I said, if I had to give one, it'd be Chris.
Matter of fact, it was a small percentage of matches that you can consider yourself being pretty good. You know, a good match for you.
Hey.
Like an insult again. See, I come on.
It's really not an insult. I'm just trying to tell people you're a human. You're not like the superhero. You're not. Let me tell people, this is not Macho Man underneath this mask.
Ooh, so, yeah, Mr. Black, dig it, yeah.
I still feel like I'm being insulted here. But Cat, listen, okay. Let's talk about some more some stuff that's going on. I was thumbing through,
I don't want to talk about now. I want to continue to talk about you. That's why we got you here. Because I don't want people to think I just bring in some old soft sucker from the ring that rolled around in the ring a few times and career was over. People do not know that if you're on the Cat's corner, the Cat respect you as a wrestler. And that's why we got you here. So I'd like to know, like, who did you learn from? I know myself, but who did you learn the most from?
Who did I learn the most from? Okay.
I would have to say Diamond Dallas Page.
Is that where you got that mask?
Why y'all insulting my boy? Why y'all doing Ray?
Self high five, baby. I love that DDP.
Ray, I'll call Diamond, tell him you made a backhand whatever at him, like, hey,
why is he always banging some shit? Bang.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, Tony. So you said
what'd you call me again? What'd you call me?
Hey.
One more time, I'm gonna leave here.
Mr. Black.
Mr. Black, Mr. Peabody, or Mr. Nobody. I'm just trying to get to I'm just trying to interview you. You want to fight with me. I want to interview you.
Well, interview.
Okay, all right. Now let me ask you this right here. Who did you not like in wrestling when you was in there?
You, Cat. I did not like wrestling you because you kicked the shit out of me one night. And I didn't know what the hell I was. So one of my worst matches, it was you. The three times.
Well, if you was in the ring knowing you and knowing your fulfillment and your job requirement, if you was in the ring with me, it was only for me to kick you one time and it was over.
Well, that's all it took.
Yeah, that's all it is, bro. I mean, they sent out a couple of you guys in there. They said we can't use the word no more, that we used to use for people like Mr. Black.
Yeah, get it right.
They used to call
jobbers or enhancement talent.
Jobber. But you know what?
I don't believe you're still insulting me.
Mr. Black.
Yes.
Mr. Black. Now let me ask you this right here, Mr. Black. Did you ever get serious in a match with anyone where you guys were going back and forth, or it might have turned into kind of a real fight?
No, I can't say it ever happened. No. Can't say it ever happened.
So you were business the whole time you was in
the whole time. the whole time.
I got a question. Can I ask a question? Did you ever wrestle Hogan while he was there?
No, I didn't.
Did you want to?
Of course. Who didn't want to wrestle Hogan back then?
What about the Nature Boy, Ric Flair?
No, I never wrestled Nature Boy either.
Not even in a tag match or nothing like that. Nothing crazy.
I got chopped by the Nature Boy breaking up some stuff. But
okay.
It was an official match, but I did
it was a pull apart, and then you got chopped. Apart.
Yeah, I got wooed one time.
You got wooed. Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
In LA. He wooed me, all right.
Okay.
Well, I enjoyed your career. You know, from what a little bit I seen of it back in the day. But you were great. And I always respect you. I think you're a great person, a great human being. What you're doing with your life now, which we won't talk about, is helping other people. And that particular field of endeavor that you're in doesn't get enough respect, in my opinion. I think it's got a shitty stuff done to it over the years, but they don't respect it. But I do. I back it, and I'm 100% behind you guys, 100%. But and I thank you for what you do on a personal level.
I appreciate that.
Ray, that's all you got, Ray. You gonna kiss the man ass?
No, I'm just being real with it because
you don't even know this guy. You just met this guy, and you want to kiss his ass. You don't know what he do. You don't know.
I've been knowing Mr. Black.
No, you have not. No, you don't know if this guy got a mask on. Cause somebody
he was a lounge. He was a lounge singer back at the Gold Club back in the mid 90s. Mr. Black. He was the guy over there in the corner going, "You'll never find as long as you may look someone who loved you the way that I
can't believe. I can't believe though. Hey, Mr. Black, I can't believe though that so many years out, you still angry at WCW because you really never got a push. What do you think about Eric Bischoff?
Oh, I got.
Hold on. I'm gonna call a few names, and you give me your opinion. What do you think of Eric Bischoff?
I think Eric's a great guy. I had a conversation with him a few months back. We talked about some old things and everything, but no, I never had a problem with Eric Bischoff. No.
Well, okay. What about Stevie Ray?
Oh, Stevie Ray is my boy. There, we talk often.
What about Booker T?
Booker T. I mean, he's okay. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say. I'm just more, I guess, tighter with Stevie Ray.
What about?
Did not just say that.
What about Hulk Hogan?
Okay, well, I'm not gonna sit there and say I know Hulk Hogan, but some of the stuff that he's getting out there in the press today, I think, all of it's not his fault. There's been a couple things out there about the whole beer thing and everything, and the motto that he fired or whatever. And just from what I can see, the little research I did do on it, it wasn't.
I want you to speak. I want you to speak from your involvement with him, not what he's doing to your involvement.
Well, there's a pecking order with WCW here. I mean, Hogan was like the general here, and I'm not gonna say I was a private, but I might have been, private first class or something. I was in the, I was just starting.
Some might say you was even a corporal, brother.
Hey, Ray, can you cut that stupid shit out, Ray? Damn, we don't want to hear that. We trying to interview Mr. Black, not listen to you talk like a kid in the corner yelling out. Now sit your fat ass down and shut up. Okay. Hey, Mr. Black.
So mean.
Yeah, go ahead.
You Mr. Black. So let's go with how about now you done made forget the guy. See what happened when you do that?
What about Macho Man?
How about the Nasty Boys?
No, I like the Nasty Boys now. I like the Nasty Boys. Like I said, we hung out a lot.
Give me a Nasty Boy story.
No. I got one, but I don't want to say it because it's not. It's like disparaging them, and I don't want to do that because I consider them my friends here, so I rather keep that.
They still your friend. They don't know who you are. Don't
Yeah,
nobody
I
know
know,
who you are. So
but
you
they
can
can
give
figure,
a story.
they can figure this out, though. I don't want to do
No.
that.
Listen, I know who you are, and I can tell you this: you look better with that mask on. Let me ask you this. Now, okay, how about Dusty Rhodes?
Well, I didn't really know Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes was like hit and miss when I saw him. I mean, I saw him a couple times there, but I didn't really know Dusty all that well.
How
You know, I
about one
was
of my
a fan.
how about one of my favorites?
Who's that?
Pistol Pez Watley.
Oh, Pistol Pez Watley was my boy there. That was my man there. I love Pistol Pez Watley. We
So what did you like about him? He was like Stevie Ray, kind of militant, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, but like I said, Pistol Pez taught me a lot. Now he was one of my early trainers back in the day. We rode the roads together. We fought together. We fought on the same side. We fought against each other sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Have you? How about being a black wrestler? How about Thunderbolt Patterson? What do you think about him?
Thunderbolt Patterson, I mean, like I said, he was the I like to call him the black regional Hulk Hogan back in the day. That's the way I look at him because he was a big star, but he was real militant. He spoke out a lot. That wasn't a cool thing to do back then. It would it wouldn't make you a whole lot of friends back there. I mean, it is what it is. Was what the promotion was back then. But yeah, I
And
like Thunderbolt Patterson.
now
He's a
I'm speaking from experience.
okay.
Being in the ring, I know these guys. I work with Hogan. I work with all the top name guys. I worked the match with you too. You was unbelievable in the ring. Your movement, your power. You was a real good person to work with, wrestling to work with. I enjoy working with you. But let me let's ask Ray. Ray, as a fan, what did you think of his character, Mr. Nobody?
That's
What did I
Mr.
think of his character?
Yeah, his character, his
Well, the one
gimmicks.
that we can't talk about his character
His
without
gimmick.
revealing who he is, but I
Well,
enjoyed
no,
his character.
you don't have to describe it. Just tell me like you enjoyed it and what did you
I
like about
enjoyed
it?
it. I thought it was creative as hell, to be honest with you. It was sort of like, to me, um, an urban version of a certain someone, and that's an order. I'll just say it like that, so you don't get the cat out of the bag. But it just, I think there was so many ways they could have gone with in a different direction with you. They could have brought more people in with the ranking system, if you will, on that platform, and probably could have had a little faction going on there. But what you did was great. Like you said, you were very powerful in the ring. You reminded me of a young Mark Henry. I mean, you were powerful. I mean, you could
Oh,
move. You had a
Ray.
good move
Ray,
set.
let's not go that far now. Let's not you
Hey,
kissing
let
too
Ray go
much.
that
Come on.
far. Let Ray go
Ray.
that far.
See, Ray perspective is from a real fan. This dude is smart as I don't know what. He know the ring, he know the wrestler. So that's why he's my host on this show. So I like Ray to speak to you as a fan and tell me what you thought about him, what you think of him, and what do you
Your
feel?
power slam was legit. Your your moves when you got him over in the corner, when you splashed him in the corner, it was legit, dude. You were moving the ring. I mean, you were cat like. No pun intended. You weren't concrete footed out there. So I think they could have done more with you, but I've also said that about Cat. I think he was, even as much as he was utilized, in my opinion, was still underutilized. If I'd have had him and if I was his manager, we would have
What
we
you
would have
mean?
done
What you mean
big
if you
things.
had
If I
what you
had you,
mean?
if I was if I was
Did
your Paul
say
Heyman,
did
if
say
I was your little
18
Jew, I would have had you at the top of the
did
card,
say
baby.
did say 1863. What you mean if I had
It's
one?
1864. Let's get it
You
right, baby.
trying to act like I'm a
What
used
I tell
car.
you, I'm old South. Listen, I'd have been your Colonel Tom Parker.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Be the
How
hands.
racist? How racist was that shit, by the way? Colonel Tom Parker. Gee, jeez. How racist was WCW, dude? They were
Yeah,
racist.
that's something I want to ask you, Mr. Nobody. Did you
Mr.
see
Black.
any signs of like racism when you was there in WCW?
Yeah, I mean, it was stuff. I mean, I've never been called the N word to my face or nothing like that. But just the way how I see how they use certain people, I thought maybe there was a little bit there, but
How about the pay structure? Did you feel like you were getting paid what you deserved, or do you feel like there was others getting paid more for doing less?
Well, I didn't know what other people were making. I was happy with what I was making, so I mean, I don't have anything there.
Fair enough.
Now, if you had a son and your son say, "Hey, pops, I want to be a pro wrestler," what would you tell him, Mister Nobody?
Well, I would explain to him. I mean, I would make sure he has something else to fall back on, because at the end of the day, especially now, I think all this stuff is a big gamble. Some people make it, some people don't. I see a lot of guys, that I know of put everything they had in the wrestling. They became pretty good wrestlers, but when wrestling was over, the ones who didn't take any money, they're struggling right now. I see a lot of that stuff going on here.
Sad.
And you know something, Mister Nobody. You are so right about that. Yeah. You take people who all they wanted to do was wrestle. They wrestle in a little small gym with 5 and 10 people there. They sort of kind of work their way up to the big time.
Yeah.
But then when you had somebody like me, and I'm thankful for it, I never worked the indies. I came right into WCW at the best moment, the best time. Everybody
a year before it took off.
And you know this too, Mr. Nobody. They were just handing money out there. You know, if you weren't making $750 or $1 million, and they were paying long-term money.
Yeah.
Money that would go last 20, 30 years if you put it right. So that's what I'm saying. People don't really know. Maybe you can kind of shine a little light on that. What are the process to get to like wrestling? Are you a wrestler just because you're wrestling in a local high school jail? Or are you a pro wrestler only when you make it to one of the top organizations?
Well, the way I look at it, if you can take care of yourself, you're a pro wrestler. That's the way I look at it. Everybody's not going to make Stone Cold Steve Austin money, Hulk Hogan money, or whatever. I mean, that's like anything, though. You can look at any sport, football, basketball, whatever. Everybody's not making LeBron James money. They're not doing that. You got some guys, they making a few $100,000, but this other guy, he's making, 50, 60, $100 million a year. It's just like that everywhere. But like I said again, my thing was I lived within my means. That's why I was okay. I mean, I knew going in, I couldn't go hang out with Macho Man and Hulk Hogan here when you talk about out here buying things or whatever, spending money on their level, because I didn't make that kind of money. But I did okay compared to the average person on the street. So yeah, I consider myself a pro wrestler, but was I in a Hulk Hogan's league? No, nowhere close to it. But I was still.
I think those leagues, when you're talking about Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, I think that the whole unit was just a unit, man. It was a family. It's a business. You had Hulk Hogan, but only in say so. Hulk Hogan was the leader of the bunch because it was a lot of guys making $3-4 million a year, $5 million a year, who was a Hulk Hogan, never got in the ring with Hogan. You look at people like Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero. You look at those guys. Those guys worked their butt off, and they were making some good money and enjoying the business.
Right.
So I just think when people start talking about Ric Flair is the greatest wrestler, it take a bunch of people like me and you and other people to make this guy that part of wrestling greatness. It take us, without us losing to him, without us taking bumps, without us giving our bodies up to make him look good, he couldn't be Ric Flair. Ric Flair ain't gonna go.
I look at it like, and I always use this thing with the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, like Terminator 2 is one of my best movies or whatever. Yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the big star, but he needed that heel. He needed that heel to make him even better. And that heel had to be, a badass or whatever. Without that heel, he just been some kind of robot running around there doing what? They had to have that co-star. You gotta have the co-star, the players, or whatever to make the movie go. So,
but you said pro wrestling and everything. I was having a conversation backstage with it might have been Stevie Ray, and Stevie Ray said, "Cat, you know what? You beginning to see pro wrestling and everything. This was like in the 97, 98. So watch basketball. Watch how they flop when you touch them. That's pro wrestling. Yeah. Watch now how the athletes are coming in to their own music and the cameras in the back. That's pro wrestling. But if you look at life, in order for somebody to do well, they got to either have a baby face or they got to have a heel.
Yeah.
It got to be a good, it got to be a bad. And those two things had to be
with the Bible. It's good.
Those two things had to, we talking about pro wrestling. Those two things. So those two, we ain't going that deep, bro. Why go that deep?
But that's where it started. That's why it captivates you.
I'm not, but this is not the Bible we're talking about.
The oldest story ever told is all I'm saying.
We're talking
pro
about.
wrestling is just retelling it. That's all they're doing. They're retelling the oldest story.
Ray, let me give you something in the middle here. Okay, we talk about the Bible. That's a little bit going too far back. I'm going to tell you the biggest.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to tell you the biggest work out there. The Republicans and the Democrats, they working.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was leading.
It don't matter if it's the left wing or the right wing. It's the bird that's the problem. The bird is the problem.
They working in Washington D.C. They working in your local township. They working all over the place.
And that's what I'm saying. So when you come to life, and you can see the way wrestling has now become part of everyday things you see out in the world. Everything you see. It's good and bad, guys. They set things up to do what? Pop the crowd. And you know what popping the crowd, to make the crowd go, ooh. Yeah. One of the biggest things is you got to have a good guy to have a bad guy.
Right.
So in your business that you're in now, and we don't have to talk about it, but do you see some of the same stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Do you see some of the good and the bad?
Some of the good, some of the bad. I see the heels and the baby face, and I see the swerve or whatever. You're working with this one guy, whatever. You think this guy's working with you over here, and all of a sudden you find out this guy's working with the other guys over here. And now
I got a good one for you, Mr. Toenail.
Go ahead.
Mr. Nobody, Mr. Nobody. How do you relate pro wrestling business to the business that you're in now, or can you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to elaborate too much and give away too much right now.
Just say a yes or no then.
Yeah. You can connect the two.
And you somebody that worked in the business. You worked in pro wrestling. You was a worker. You didn't just work in the ring. You worked behind the curtain. You worked everywhere. You did a lot of stuff in pro wrestling. So you know the business even better than I do, because you were probably in there just as long as I was. So that's why I'm saying, what one thing are you seeing now from pro wrestling that in everyday life that you notice? This right here remind me of my days in the ring, of my days working with Eric Bischoff, of my days getting my body ready to take this pounding in the ring for the next week on the road.
Well, I'll just keep it simple here or whatever. Just what I give you. Well, not to give you what I do, but I tell you, I still train every day, just as if I'm going to have that match or whatever. Even though I'm in real life right now, but with the stuff that I do, it could turn really fast, and I need to be in the best shape I can be in or whatever. So
you stay on ready.
Yeah, I stay on ready pretty much. I stay on ready. I kind of train like I did when I was a pro wrestler, a little bit more, a little bit less.
Well, I saw your body. You don't look like you're ready.
Well, Cat, all you gotta do is you jump on me. I got something for you.
Because it's a lot easier jumping on than it is jumping off.
There you go.
This dude Ray always trying to
What?
Big Ray.
I want to go back to this Ric Flair thing, saying that y'all enhanced him and made him the best wrestler in the world. Ric Flair could wrestle an hour with a broomstick. I'm just telling you.
Hold up, but
he
did
could.
he? Did
yeah,
he?
I saw that.
Did he?
He could.
When,
he could.
What do you think, Tony? You know Rick. We work with him. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Rick is good, but I'm not going to sit here. I'm not kind of insulting either, but there were guys, in my opinion, that was a lot better than Rick. You know, now
I would say that Shawn Michaels
they didn't get
in the ring was better, technically. I think Shawn was better, bell to bell. I don't think there was anybody as good as Shawn as far as a believable character.
Man, let me tell you something, man. You got people like, you guys will never know. You got people like Jamin Nobles. You got people like Shane Ham, Dean Malenko, bro. These guys were the best. Listen, these guys were better than those guys. They just wasn't put in that position to be a Ric Flair, to be a Shawn Michaels. Man, huh?
Steven Regal, Fit Finley.
Yeah.
Kurt Hennig. I mean, these guys were incredible. You know how I'm going to tell you how I know how good they were.
Kurt was okay. Go ahead, Mr. Nobody.
But listen, you know, back when I was training to become a pro wrestler, you know, I trained at the WCW power plant back in the day. And, you know, like I said, those guys would come down for a big pay-per-view and they would take over one of the rings and they would just wrestle, you know. So I got to see these guys, like, you know, in a training environment and everything. I got to learn a little bit from them too. Like I said, Steven Regal is amazing. You know, William Regal, whatever name he's going by, whatever. It changes on whatever he's in. But I watched him and Fit Finley, and like I said, after I saw a match they had in front of just us, the students, you know, I said, damn, that was real. You know, we mentioned Chris Benoit earlier, another one. Chris Benoit, Steven Regal, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. I've seen.
Hey, I got one that I hate you guys missing out on, because if he wasn't the best, he was close to it.
Who's that?
Armstrong. Brad Armstrong.
Brad Armstrong was phenomenal.
Bro, Brad, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Brad Armstrong was far most the better wrestler in the whole company.
Yeah.
In the whole company, he could do. Listen, he wasn't just a wrestler, he was an entertainer.
Yes. Backstage, everything. Yes.
Everything. You know, so when people, he was one of the technical better wrestlers around, if not the best. Chris Benoit was a pretty good wrestler.
I think Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's in that conversation.
No, Ricky the Dragon
like that.
Ricky the Dragon to me was a good worker, but he was a good baby face. That's all he was to me. He was just able to sell his butt out. We're talking about people that can work, good or bad, ring corner to corner, outside the ring, somebody who you can give an hour match. And I tell you for that hour, these guys take over total
Chris
control.
Jericho?
He wasn't Brad Armstrong. He was good. He was good too, but they were totally different. Jericho was totally different.
What about Rey Mysterio?
Ray was Ray with Mysterio. Ray did what a little man could do.
Yeah.
He was able to work with big guys. But when we're talking about work, Big Ray, we're talking about Brad Armstrong. This guy was like, he was set to train me. That's who they put to train me and get me ready for a Monday Night Nitro. I had to work with Brad Armstrong.
What about the enforcer, Arn Anderson?
Arn was a good mean guy. He was a good. You look at Arn, he looked like that uncle, always ready to fight.
Yeah.
He played that role well. We're talking about entertainer that can, like you said, Ric Flair can wrestle a broom. Ric Flair, maybe he can, but these guys right here can entertain you.
But
with
where to me Rick excelled was Rick could take a person that wasn't as good of a wrestler and make them look like $1 million. When Lex Luger came in,
that's because you're a fan. That's
but when
because you're a
Lex
fan.
came in, Lex was not that great a wrestler, but Flair made him look like he was the second coming of daggone Luthez.
Bro, everybody wrestled. Lex Luthor did that. They had to do that. Cause Lex didn't do it. He was just a beautiful body. He was just a body.
He was a power guy. He was a power guy.
No, he wasn't no power. He wasn't no power. He was just, what would you say, Mr. Nobody? He was just a body.
He was a body guy that just did power moves. He wasn't a wrist lock, takeover, headlock, jump, leapfrog, come back over. You know, he wasn't doing any of that. He wasn't.
Bro, he only hit you with a
1,000 holds.
He only hit you with a forearm in the stretcher across the shoulder. No, that was a forearm.
A power slam, the torture rack, the elbow in the corner.
The reason he made it, those are all fine, but those are not finishing.
He looked good.
Yeah, he looked good. That's the only reason he did. When let me tell you this story. When Lex Luthor was getting ready for a match,
it's Lex Luger, not Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor.
I know it. That's why I'm telling you, he was that Superman. Remember, he was getting ready for a run with NWO, and they were gonna try to make him a baby face.
Yeah,
they had Lex Luger out there, man, and they put him in the ring like he was Superman. They put him in the ring like he was He was posing. He went down there like he was getting ready to become Mr. USA. You remember that? He was the first one in the ring to practice. They shut all the doors and they have him out there posing like with his arms up like he had a bodybuilding contest. They were getting him ready because he looked strong. But Lex Luthor was not Lex Luger. Lex Luger was a man who just had a beautiful body. You had to say he was huge, 6'5", 6'6", muscles everywhere.
He definitely had the look.
But Flair made him look like he was freaking unbelievable in the ring. When he had a move set of about 4 or 5 moves, but Flair made him look great. Same way Flair made Sting look great when Sting first got started.
Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
That's Sting. Sting will tell you, if it wasn't for Flair, it wouldn't be a Sting.
Sting will give me credit. I just posted something last week. Me and Sting and I worked in the ring against Vampiro and the Great Muta. And Sting and I, Sting was one of the most athletic guys you ever wanted to see.
Yeah.
He didn't need nobody to make him look good. Sting
We're talking about 1985, dog.
So what? What do you know about 1985, dog?
I'm just saying we're talking about 1985 when Flair made him.
How you know Flair made him in 1985?
He said it. Ask him.
What you about?
Ask him. He'll tell you.
In 1985, were you like 14, 15?
15 years old. Watching it
every day. So how do you know? How can you say Flair? Hey, Tony.
When you beat the champion, he makes it.
There you go again.
Oh, this guy. Hey, listen here, Mr. Nobody.
Quit calling him Joni. Quit calling him Joni.
Listen here, Mr. Nobody.
Hey, this ain't no damn Happy Days, Joni.
Joni loves Chachi. Joni loves Chachi.
Happy Days here.
Hey,
I'm not even white.
Mr. Nobody. Keep your panties on, bro. I made a mistake. I know who you are. It's hard calling you Mr. Potato or Mr.
Potato Head,
Mr. Booty Head or Mr. Toe. Who are you again, Mr. Nobody?
Mr. Black.
If my good friend Hardbody was here, you wouldn't talk to him like that.
See, we were going. I was not going to bring that name up.
Okay, well,
see what you did. You put it out there. So now let's talk about it.
I'm not going to talk about my friend.
You gonna talk about something like that? Well, you go tell me. Did you have what kind of relationship did you have with this wrestler called Hardbody?
Well, because of my current position, I can't speak of that. So
hey, now let's ask Ray about this. See, Ray is a smart mark. He's a mark, a fan. That's all he is, a fan. He don't know anything about being in the ring. He don't know anything about the wrestling business.
Nothing.
Nothing. He been a manager. He been a manager before. he the worker up there. He been promoter. But we
one
talking
half
about
of the
rest.
GWA Tag Team Champions.
We hold on, wait a minute. We are talking about right now. Let me lower my voice because y'all get me heated in here. I don't want to get heated. I don't want to get angry. I'm a nice. Hold on, listen. I'm a nice guy, soft spoken, good old country boy. I mean, I don't try to make anybody angry. I don't try to disrespect anybody. I love everybody. I love everybody.
I'm looking outside for the lightning.
And you guys just get me up and flared up and get me so angry, man. It's like, I don't know why I let you guys do me like that. You guys gonna give me a headache, man. Now, the only thing I'm trying to do is try to get some wrestling talk out of you two guys. And it's hard.
Well, we've been doing for the last hour and 15 minutes is wrestling talk.
Bro, see, you need to go to bed. That's what you got to do. You got to go to bed because you're a big baby.
I got SmackDown to watch before I go to bed because I stay on top of what we do.
Yo, you got to go put your little...
I stay in the know.
Your little footies on, your little pajamas and sit down and
Can I ask Mr. Black a question? Can I ask Mr. Black a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you watch the current product? And if you do, who is your favorites and what promotion do you favor over the other?
Okay, I would be lying if I told you I watched the current product out there. I don't think I watched the whole wrestling show. It's been about 8 years. Now, I do watch highlight clips. Yeah, I watch highlight clips of different people, whatever, but I don't keep up with the names and the storylines. I mean, I got you. Sorry. I mean, like I said, I was a diehard fan back in the day. I'm just too busy right now. You know, I still keep in touch with the boys and everything, but I don't watch the shows. You know, when I do watch wrestling, I like to go back and watch that old regional wrestling, like the wrestling from Florida, you know, because again, I didn't grow up in that area, but I know a lot of those guys here. So when I want to watch some wrestling, I'll go watch an old show that's maybe 40 years old.
You go watch like when Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin had the damn spike of death and they spiked Dusty's eye and shit like that. That's good shit.
That's what I like to watch.
Shit. That's when it was real to a dude like me. Yeah, you couldn't have told me. I'd have fought you if you'd told me shit was fake back then. I'd have been like, man, you crazy. He stabbed Dusty in the freaking eye with a damn chisel.
That was the stuff there. That was the stuff. Yeah. But I look at some of those old tapes. It's all new to me. So I'll wait till a Saturday night sometime just to get the nostalgia going. I'll wait.
And the cat don't know nothing about that because he ain't no real fan.
Cat's not a real fan, you know. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He ain't no real fan. He ain't no real fan. You know, I watched it.
He don't even know who Maniac Mark Lewin is. He has no clue who he is.
Come on, Cat. Say it isn't so.
He don't know who the hell Maniac Mark Lewin is. Do you even know who Kevin Sullivan is?
Well, he knows who Kevin Sullivan is. I'm pretty sure.
The Prince of Darkness.
Where do you go to?
I'm here. I'm listening to you guys. I'm letting you guys talk this crazy talk, you know, and say things. See, you guys can't get to me. You guys can't get to my head. I know wrestling because I've worked in the business. Well, and I keep telling you, I keep telling you that, hold on. I keep telling you that WCW is not dead, and I'm going to go back to that big man. And, you know, I'm going to let you lead. I'm going to let you go. But I want you to understand. I want you to answer a question. Look me in the eyes right now. I can see the old beady red eyes through that mask. Look me in the eye right now, bro. Get right in the camera. So if WCW would just announce they come back on next Monday with Eric Bischoff running the show, would you watch it?
I would watch it just like everybody else would watch it. But I can tell you I probably wouldn't watch it every week, but I would watch it just because.
But why would you? That's what I'm saying. Why would you think it was dead if you know of it? You know, it just happened. If it came back on, you'll be there. You'll be there watching, cheering, kissing ass, trying to get a job or doing something. But you would be there because you know what WCW meant to so many people.
All right, I get that, Cat, but like I said, WCW can't come back. Yeah, Eric Bischoff can get a wrestling company and call it WCW, but it still won't be WCW.
How do you figure? Let me ask you something. How do you figure WCW won't be World Championship Wrestling?
Well,
What was WCW back in the day? Tell me, what was it?
It was World Championship Wrestling. Like I said, it had a good history back then, but it died. It can't just pick back up in 2024 and call itself.
Listen, it had a history of wrestling. That's
Right.
all it was, a history of wrestling. Wrestling is not gone. Wrestling is still making what? It's still making headlines. It's still people still talking about it.
Yeah,
it's creating history.
Well,
so
listen,
the history is not stopped. The history is an ongoing thing.
But you understand what I'm saying. Eric Bischoff.
I understand most definitely what you're saying. Understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying is Eric Bischoff can start a company and call it anything, and people will watch it for it. They'll watch it, but it won't be WCW, but he call it something else. I mean, I think another wrestling company can start. Why not? Hell, back in the day, there was a bunch of regional territories out there. Why can't it be a bunch of national territories? I mean, it could happen.
It's hard to in this climate because people only have so many hours in a week to watch stuff.
Yeah.
And if you've got WCW, if you've got a WCW that takes up 2 hours, WWE, which takes up 5-6 hours a week. And then you've got AEW that takes up 2 hours on Wednesday, 2 hours on Saturday, and 1 hour on Friday. That's a lot.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Nobody.
Go ahead.
Who was the strangest wrestler you met in your career?
The strangest wrestler that I met. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of them. Strangest wrestlers.
Just the strangest one. Just pick one that you thought like this guy's different. This guy's not like us. He is out of. It was some crazies back there in the back some too now.
Yeah. Like I said, I think we mentioned him earlier, but we said we're going to stop. But like I said, I got some stories about Hardbody Harris. I'm like, man, this dude here,
the Hardbody just had a good story, but Hardbody was not strange to me. I knew exactly what he was about. I'm gonna pick somebody who was strange to me, who came out of nowhere. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Okay.
Bam Bigelow was like so fierce looking and so had all the energy. But then when you said and talked to him, he was like talking to a teddy bear. He was so nice. He was just he was just so good. You know what I'm saying? He was a good person.
You can say about a lot of guys.
No, you had a lot of guys like Jerry, what was Jerry, the karate guy with the mullet?
Jerry Flynn.
Yeah, Jerry Flynn. Jerry Flynn was a mean guy. Jerry Flynn thought he was more than what he thought he was more than what he was. He went to Japan. He did a pretty good little match in Japan. And Jerry Flynn came back and he had a little thing with Goldberg. Then him and Goldberg had a good little match. And then Nathan, Jerry Flynn was walking around like he wore his black belt. And he wore his black belt like he was like the real black belt. And he was, you know how Jerry was. He thought like everybody else was beneath him, which is okay because that's what happened on the basketball court. Kobe Bryant thought he was better than everybody else. You have to believe that.
You have to be. That's what I'm about to say. You have to believe that in that kind of environment. You almost have to.
But Jerry Flynn never did shit in WCW.
I mean, he didn't get over like that, but he was there. In WCW, you didn't have to do much, but if you were there and you was in the mix, you were doing a lot more than what you expect. Because those guys right there were making $400,000 or $500,000 just coming in doing hardly anything. It was a bunch of them in there.
Yeah.
He wasn't rude to you, was he, Cat? Was he trying you?
He didn't try me, but if you remember, I had a match with him, and You know, Booker T took his side. Booker T and I used to roast each other all the time. So Booker T was like, Jerry Flynn is the real karate guy around here. Jerry Flynn went and beat this guy. He went and beat that guy. So I guess Eric Bischoff heard about it. In Atlanta, it was going to be karate against karate. It was going to be Ernest Miller versus Jerry Flynn.
Yeah, who won?
I won. I mean, it's fake. It's fake. When it was kind of funny. So when we were going over the match, we went in, they were calling each match in one by one. And Eric Bischoff was going over what he wanted in the match and who did he want to go over. So how he wanted the match to play it way out. So we walked in and Eric Bischoff told Lynn, said, hey, just go out there and have a good little sparring match and just turn it into a wrestling match. And then he said, Jerry said, who do you want to win? He said, I want Cat to win. So Jerry wrapping his hands up, he said, okay, I got that. Then he looked at Eric and said, how bad do you want me to beat him?
Uh-oh.
And
I didn't hear this.
Yeah, he said, how bad do you want me to beat him? Because we were going to spar. It was going to be a sparring, but it was going to actually be we were going to just work rounds. And then at the end was set. The end was set for me to go over. But during the first few minutes, we were going to be boxing and kickboxing. Let me tell you this. I got the win. I went over. When we went to the locker room, Jerry was lost. When we went to the locker room, Jerry said, thank you, man. He said, all you said was duck, go down. And all he said, he knew what to do because everything was landing in the right places. And Jerry Lynn Booker T looked at Jerry Lynn and said, holy cow, Jerry, you look like an unranked amateur. Cat, you look like the number 1 kickboxing champion in the whole world. And it was such a good thing. And they just switched on Jerry Flynn right there. It was just so funny. You all right, Big Ray?
Yeah, I was about to cough myself to death listening to you. Like talking about an unranked.
Talking about, I mean, Booker T switched sides so fast. He was like, Jerry gonna kill you, Cat. So he came back up there. I mean, I hit Jerry with spinning kicks, stuff he had never seen before, controlled. So
That's
when
hilarious.
when he came down, Booker T said, you look like an unranked amateur. Man, Cat, you look like the number 1 rated fighter in the world. And it was so funny. I said, God, dog. And then,
that's great.
Hey, man, listen, we had some great time down there, and Mr. Black was part of it. And Mr.
Sure
Black,
was.
you know, I'd like to thank you for coming on our show.
Yeah.
Being a part of this. And I'd like to have you back when you can take that stupid mask. I mean, when you can take that pillowcase off your head and come back here and show your pretty face. I'd love to have you back.
Okay, I talk to my supervisors before I start doing this. You know, I got that important government work I do. I can't just be putting my face out there.
Bro, but you do know we'd have had like law enforcement on before, right?
Hey!
I never said I was law enforcement. There
what
you
are you doing?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying we had people. Right. I didn't say what part of law enforcement.
He said he's a school bus driver.
That's what I'm saying. No, you look at his body. You look at your body. He's an ice cream truck driver. That's what he is.
Right here. See, this is what I'm talking about. If Mr. Wrestling 2 was sitting right here, you would be insulting him.
Listen, you've already gave me an hour and 20 minutes, so I got all the time I need. If you keep running your damn mouth, I'm gonna tell the people who you really are. I'm gonna tell them who you are. Right? You know, I'm gonna tell them who you are. You keep messing with me. I'm gonna tell her what you did, who you are, where you going, bro. You know I'm a snitch anyway.
Yeah, Ernest the Rat Miller.
Yeah, I tell on everybody. You coming on my show with a damn mask on, it's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. First of all, it's not just a normal mask. You got a mask with a big ass B on the top of your head.
That stands for Black Brotherhood, baby.
What you want me to have on it? It's Mr. Black.
Shouldn't it be MB then? MB, not just B, that for black.
Mr. B. Do that. You see Mr. X, he put just an X on his route. Yeah, you remember Racer X from Speed Racer? Did he have Racer X on his mask? He had an X.
He had an X.
He had an X. He had no Racer on it.
So let me ask you, where you get that stupid mask? I mean, where did you get that mask from?
There you go. It's just what I said before. I bet you the late, great Jody Hamilton here, the assassin himself, was sitting here, you wouldn't be saying nothing stupid like that.
So you try to call me?
Here,
why you think?
Like, let me tell you something, boy.
Why you think I'm attacking you then? That's what I'm saying. You think I'm attacking you because you black?
It's no, I didn't say nothing about color. There you go.
See, I don't know what color you are because you got a mask on. I don't know. You might be a white guy. You might be a white guy up under there.
He's simply Mr. Black.
You might be.
If I was Bullet Bob Armstrong with this mask on, you wouldn't be insulting me.
Oh, bro, let me tell you something. If Bob Armstrong came in my studio, my show, and he had a mask on, I'll tell him, take that damn mask off because we want to see your face. You're the greatest. But Bob Armstrong is my favorite wrestler.
Bullet Bob Armstrong, the daddy.
Bob. Yeah, Bob was one of my favorite wrestlers. Man.
He did wear a mask for a short time.
I'm gonna give you my 10.
Okay.
Top 10. Help me out. Bob Armstrong, Ernest the Cat Lad, Dusty Rowe.
That's kind of him and Ernie Ladd together.
Bro, can I finish? Give my 10, man. Why you won't talk over me?
Because you said Ernest the Cat Lad.
Okay, then. That's what I'm saying. Once y'all just let me finish, you stop interrupting me.
Lad. Go ahead.
Stop interrupting me. Ernie Ladd, Ernest the Cat Lad, Dusty Rose, Bob Armstrong, Mr. Wrestling #1 and #2.
Mike Winter.
5. Huh?
Mike Winter.
With that reach around. Hey, with that reach around. Harlem Heat. Hey, Harlem Heat. Stevie Ray and Booker T, one of my favorite. The Steiner brothers, 2 of my favorite. Man, I can go on and on, man. Listen, I was in heaven when I was working with these guys, man. When I just think about it. I go from playing football, college dorm, to playing football, to Nathan, teaching karate and fighting karate, to sitting in a catering hall with Macho Man, Scott Hall, guys, Sid Vicious. These guys were just all around me. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did I get here? It was just, it's an incredible dream come true.
It was good time. I ain't gonna lie about it. That was a good time. It was a real good time.
Making money, doing that wrestling world. But now Mr. Bubblehead, Mr. Bubblehead, right now, just being able to go and be a legend. People want to see us. People want to be near us. People want to thank us for doing what we did back in the old days. There's nothing like being a wrestler now. There's nothing like being an ex-wrestler. A wrestler. If you was in WCW, WWF, was it WWF at that time, right?
Yeah, get the
WWF. Yeah, and then what was it? What was the other sanction?
TNA.
No, TNA was not around. Tony, what was the other?
ECW.
Yeah, ECW. Listen, bro, if you were doing anything then, these fans love you now. Because all those guys who was young watching us are grown up, and the only thing they want to do is sit down and listen to our stories.
Yeah, just talk to you. That's why this podcast is so great, because you get to do what you're doing right now. Spending an evening with 2 old friends who trained together at the power plant.
Bro, three old friends, 3 friends. You want?
Well, I get it. I thought I wanted friends, but that's okay. We're all together now. I feel like the cream inside the Oreo cookie tonight.
So you always take stuff to the racist stuff. You always
go.
You always talking. You talk like one of those old country rednecks that talk about the history of slavery. I'm a big Donald Trumper. I'm a Donald Trumper. I believe in enforcing military rights. That's we don't need that here. Big Ray, we just all wrestling people.
Ain't no bigger wrestling fan than Donald John Trump, brother. He even had Hogan, brother, at his damn convention, dude. And you saw it. You saw it, brother.
Who let me tell you something now. He is a Hall of Famer, too. People don't know that. He's
in the WWE Hall of Fame. Sure is.
So is DDP.
Self high five.
Hey, don't be insulting my boy now. You know.
Hey, bro, you know I love DDP. Come on, man.
DDP's the best. I need to get over and do some yoga.
So let me tell you something, Mr.
Black.
Mr. Nobody.
What do you got?
What do you think about this show?
I think it's a good show.
Corner.
I had to come on this show because I tell you what, I've been watching it. I've been very impressed. What I like to do is put this show on while I'm working out. You know.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Black?
Can he finish? Can he finish what he was saying?
He finished. He said he puts the show on while he works out.
No, he did. I want to hear what he got to say, not you. He's a wrestler.
I'm asking him a question so he can answer.
No, he didn't finish my question. Mr. Nobody, please finish. Please finish, Mr. Nobody. Now, if you keep running your mouth, Mr. Nobody, I'm going to tell the world who you are.
I didn't even say anything.
Okay, say something.
What I was trying to say, I listened to a lot of your past guests on the podcast, and I was very impressed. I mean, I listened to it when I'm driving, I'm working out, but after listening to the one last week where, and we still disagree on this about WCW, this is when I insisted on being on the podcast. You said WCW was still alive here, but, I understand what you're talking about. I get it. I really get it. So we just gonna agree to disagree on that though, but I wish WCW was still alive.
Before
I got a question. Then we'll let him go. Okay. In your history of listening to this program, do you feel like the host of the show treats the co-host with disrespect?
Yes.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Okay. You got the answer. You got the answer. So
disrespect.
Hold on. You got the answer. So what you gonna do?
What you gonna do, brother?
Nothing. Not a damn.
You're gonna do nothing either, brother.
You can't beat me. What you gonna do? Hey, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait,
I can't beat you.
Wait a minute, Mr. Yoga Butt. Let me tell this guy something. What are you gonna do?
I wanted to get a friend's perspective on whether you treat me as an equal or you always downtrodden me. And you keeping me down in the muckety muck. And
listen, you a fan and you only on here to cheer me and to pat me on my back. That's your job. Hold up, Mr. Bugle Butt, whoever you are, just hold on now before I tell him your name. Now, let me tell you something there, Ray. When I speak, you listen. You understand what I'm saying? You my dude boy. You my number one fan. That's what you are. You the cat number one fan, and you about to start telling the world. You about to start telling the world.
I'm your hype man. I'm your hype man.
You about to start telling the world how great the cat is because you my number one fan.
He's
if
the
not,
greatest.
you wouldn't even be in this thing. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. Now. Straight to your face. Straight to your damn face. You about to kiss more ass. You about to kiss more ass around here. Well, or you'll be fired.
Hey, I got a new title for Ray. Don't call him a whipping boy. Don't call him that. He's gonna be called the enhancement co-host.
Yeah, I'm the enhancement. I'm the enhancement co-host.
He's the enhancement co-host. He's there just to do a job.
I'm just there. I'm a jobber. I'm a jobber for him.
I like him better being my dude boy, being my whooping stick.
Everybody can do boy.
I like him being my
boy.
I like him being my number one fan. Come on, man.
Yeah.
How do you think he'll get over? If I say this is my number one fan, all this guy wanted to do is get me over and get me to the right place and put me up on pedestal, and all I do is yell at him. Come on, he'll get over. He'll get over. He's the cat. He's the cat's.
I got my whole family disrespecting me now because of you. Nobody in my family even respects me anymore. I'm getting disrespected at work.
Hey, he's your Barry Horowitz. That's who he is.
Yeah.
He's your Barry Horowitz.
Yeah.
But he got over. But he got over.
I'm your Mulkey brother.
Hey.
My what?
I'm one of the Mulkeys.
They still talking about the Mulkey brothers, though. They still talking about Barry.
The Mulkey brothers never won a match, baby.
Yeah, but
they were there every Saturday.
They got over.
They did get over by getting the hell beat out of them for sure.
Hey, the cat's number one fan.
Yes. Is it time to go?
You about to know your role now. Now you know what it is. You
need to know your role and shut your mouth.
Your role is to kiss my ass.
Let me tell you something.
Understand what I'm saying?
The only role I'm going to have
okay,
butter
well, look, I'll tell you this right now. You about to answer the right way, Big Ray. Why am I so great? What make me great?
Your mouth. Your mouth makes you great because you like a combination between Muhammad Ali and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's my boy. That's my dude. That's my dude. Boy, that's my boy right there, boy. I told you that's my I told you that's my number one fan. Listen,
go for the pin. 1, 2,
yeah, that boy put me over there, boy. Listen here, Mr. Bugle. It was really nice having you on the Cat's Corner. We had a good time talking to you. I enjoyed this. It's been an hour and 30 minutes already.
Yeah, it's been one of the longest podcasts in the history of podcasts.
And it's been so much fun just talking to Big Tony and seeing Big Ray.
Hey, what are you talking about, man? I keep going. Hey, this is not Happy Day, and my name isn't Joni.
Yeah, Joni loves Chachi.
Hey, bro, listen. I'm sorry. I'm just not used to telling lies or trying to take something.
No, you do.
I'm not used to it. I'm not used. So every now and then the truth will come out. Like they said, the truth should set you free. And I'm trying to, and I'm about to let you go, Tone. Let you go, Mr. Bubba Butt. And I hope to have you back.
It was great having you on the Cat's Corner.
Well, I'm glad you invited me out here. I got a chance to hang out with you guys on a Friday night, talk about a couple things here, talk about some wrestling, kind of like a road trip where I didn't have to go anywhere. So
we call it Friday Night Blackdown.
There you go.
It's Friday Night Blackdown.
Mr. Black. Hey, well, on that note, let's go, baby. Close us out, Big Ray.
Do you want to shout out any of our sponsors, or are we just rolling on without them?
Let's roll on with Darling. Let's start new, baby. We don't need them. We'll go get our own.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, they trying to get me off the show because they racist.
Hey, be quiet, bro. They white guys. They white guys. How they gonna be racist? All right, Big T.
White guy off. It's reversed.
I'm gone. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
We out. Peace and chicken grease.